Live from Music City, Nashville, Tennessee. This is your motivational, sensational, inspirational, educational, aspirational, international, keenly awaited, daily created, highly anticipated edition of the Afternoon Swing Trading Floor with your humble host, Jeremy Alexander, with another daily dose of mentally delicious brain food. Reminding each of you to love life, live life, and trade. What's going on, folks? Hope you're doing legendary. We got Tech Giant Tuesday in the house, most traders' favorite days, and it's safe to say that it's a packed house. Tons of things to look at, so let's dive in. Bottom line, SPY did make a new all-time high today, but it did retest, as I talked about that it would yesterday. So SPY having a nice little retest. That's really it. White candle, gapping up, all-time high, retest. Could it form an evening star reversal tomorrow? Sure, it's certainly possible. And if it does, then I'd really love for it to pull back into that gap and get a little bit of a dip buying opportunity. But it by no means has to. Here's the hourly charts. And the hourly chart, again, you got that retest gap. Here's your moving averages. So if you're looking at the hourly, it looks pretty toasty to me. But I really would probably be eyeing for and watching for that pullback into that gap. As usual, and I'm almost pretty much every week, SPY is a weekly options newsletter candidate. We'll just see if that one's the one that takes the cake. Next on the list is the Dow Jones. DIA and the Dow also retesting just a little bit today. The IWM, just a little bit of a retest as well. And of course, since today's Tech Giant Tuesday, here's the Qs with a new all-time high. So everything other than the IWM and the Dow making new all-time highs today. And again, we had really strong bullish movements most of last week on most of the indices. So if you are in fact looking to go long, that's totally fine. You're most likely looking, though, for just some pullback or some type of resting pattern. 2 or 3 days of a sideways move, a little bit of a pullback, something. So the good news is the broad market's not doing anything too wild, crazy, insane, or ostentatious. Rand says, hi, Jeremy. Is Facebook on your list? It almost always is for Tech Giant Tuesday, my kind friend. There it is on the list. I also do post the list every email that I send out to you guys for the stock review. I also post what we have covered on it. So if you guys ever want to breeze through those, I do my best to kind of upload and kind of keep on what's going to be on the list. But yeah, man, we will be looking at that. Yeah. Jeremy Ram says, Jeremy, I exited American Airline call for close to 2 hours, just learning that option trading is like playing with fire. Kind of, yeah. I mean, theoretically, anything is like playing with fire if you can get burned. So I guess just don't get burned bad. I love playing with fire, man. I love fire. I'm a pyromaniac. Big fan of fire. Don't get burned too bad. So, but yes, the closer to expiration your options are, so your options expire this Friday, the more volatile they will move. That is correct. Yeah. Let's dive into the list. Here's AMD. And AMD, weird that it retested today. I don't think anyone could have thought that was going to happen after a crazy run up on AMD. A lot of you got in bullish yesterday on AMD, which I thought was a little bit of a chase. Because again, I mean, you got to factor in that we moved from $20 to $26. That's a $6 move, 30% increase in 6 days. So it makes sense, at least I think, that AMD is going to rest or kind of do a little bit of what it did today. I love this high wave candle because now that we got this good high wave, you're going to get a little bit of a slowdown, a little bit of a rest. There was the pullback to the 20, just a phenomenal buying spot right here at about 24 and some change. Really, really good pullback to the 20. So now that we have that upper shadow and lower shadow, we have an indecisive range on AMD that will allow us to say, okay, well, if we close below the low of today, we'll probably pull back a little bit higher. And if we continue trading sideways to only break out higher, then the trend should continue nicely. So, yeah, I think that's all I got on AMD. I mean, it's a really nice trend. Congrats for those who are in it and for those who are snagging some gainages. I don't personally have any position on AMD, but again, this is the weekly chart. Really beautiful breakout. We saw the breakout. This was the retest right here, and off to the races. So that's AMD. A lot of people playing that one. I love the pullback on the hourly. Let's hope she continues higher for those who are in bullish. Next on the list, Square, the little engine that could not stop going. Square with volume increasing today. So Victor's in Square. I mean, we've been trading it as a team, real life trading team for a long time. Numerous traders out there are in it. And I got this 85 September covered call. Ironically enough, down on that covered call, but again, it's still $4.20 higher than where we are now. So I'm not going to worry about or stress too much with what's going on. Just a nice, healthy, bullish trend right now. Again, here's your hourly. And remember, you can trade just about any stock on the hourly. The SQ just slowly grinding higher. I mean, the trend is your friend. How many times can we say that? The crazy part is it was at 65. 65. Last month, a month ago, it was at 65. $15. Now, again, unfortunately, if you're not in right now, there's not a whole lot of move left for a short-term play, right? But at this level, I mean, you're starting to get pretty close to some good targets. So it just comes down to your time frame, right? Is it an investment? Is it a trade? Is it there to generate cash? Do you love the company? Like, what's your plan and perspective on it? And that's always important to note. Okay. Baldwin's love Square, says Sharon Baldwin. Yeah. Good job. Good trend. Fantastic. And off the softly bounce right off of that 50. Again, folks, the trend is your friend. Don't try to pick the tops. Ben says, should have held this one overnight. Again, yeah, you should have. You should indeed, man. I believe your statement was buy every red candle. Yesterday was the red candle. You didn't say sell every red candle. Hold till your arms get hold, Miss Orman. At one point, you got to pick a trade to go, this is the trade I'm going to hold until I throw up. One of them. If it's a great trend, you love it, there's nothing really in the way, there's no moving average, there's nothing that says, hey, there's reason that this could pause for a moment, right? The Square at this point can do whatever it wants. Right? Don't ever tell a stock that it's too extended, because too extended could mean that it just pulls back for 4 days and then keeps going higher, right? This was the last time that I called Square extended. I did a covered call on it, and you did get a pullback. But that's a pullback, and then you got another S-curve. This is the pullback. Now we have another S-curve. New pullback is coming, and then that'll be a dip buying opportunity. And it could just do this. How long could it do this? For a while. You do that for a while. Falco says, but Citron said it was overvalued at like 50. Well, I mean, the crazy part is it definitely is getting high. It is indeed getting up there, but overvalued? Nah. Nope. Square, churning and burning. Congrats for all those who are in on that bad boy. CRM, looking good. Earnings right around the corner on Salesforce. And I don't really have any bearish outlook on CRM on earnings. I'm not saying it can't gap down. I'm just saying I think any gap down is going to get bought. A November 125 put sale pays $1.05 at least. So that's down at the 200. So if you're going to do one, very close to enough, as Ben says. So it's right in the range. And obviously, you know, if it gaps down hard, which it certainly could, the only way I see it being remotely bearish is an open right here or right there. But if it opens at the second red line, you got the 50 EMA right there. So there's the 50, which we bounced off of before. And if it gaps down too far, like here, then the 100 would be a support. So, I mean, I like CRM. I know my buddy Sylvan's in it. There's a few other traders who are in this one. And yeah, I like it. So here's the hourly time frame. And I think my buddy Mark plays CRM a lot as well. And what you got is a really nice gap action. Nice gap and go right there on an hourly chart. Good looking trend, right? You got a pretty decent breakout right about here. Nice retest right there. Nice kind of bounce, bounce, good break. Right, then you got a white candle that gapped up to a new all-time high. Weird that everyone sold. And then trade down to moving averages, and then people just bought the trend again. So, as the trend, looks good. Let's see what happens on earnings. I'll put that on the list soon. We'll look at it more tomorrow. Neil says, lots of inside day candles today. You got me. Indeed. Here's DocuSign, and Ash made some R's on DocuSign recently. Hitting a new all-time high today. And this is really sufficient for its wave 5. However, I love that retest. It is so pretty. So again, you got this move, S-curve, into the new white soldier, new all-time high, retest of old resistance, new support, nice little bounce. So this one, for anyone trading this one on the hourly, it has now made new highs. And I know earnings are around the corner, but they're not super, super close. So if you're looking at playing DocuSign, you'd probably look to buy it off the 50 EMA on the hourly, 63.91, something like that. And maybe you're setting your stop at, I don't know, 59.91, $3 of a stop, $4 of a stop, something like that. DocuSign's a volatile little monster. There's going to be some traders that are going to have a lot of fun trading DocuSign because it looks like it hasn't moved that much. Wrong. 37 to 63. That's huge. And that's since May. Yeah. I mean, it just went from 65 to 51. That's humongous. So you're talking about some mad swings. This one's got some mad swings. All right. LRCX, Lam Research. And Lam Research did actually gap down a little bit today. This is one that, let me pop over here, bringing this over here. So we've been looking at this one for the last 2 or 3 days. As far as swing trades go, right, we're going to cover all these that we have today as well. But Lam Research, I mean, honestly, it would have filled today. You know, we talked about a limit buy. It did gap down. This was just enough of a gap to trap people. So if this is really the shakeup right here. So if you're going to go bullish on Lam Research, you're going to go bullish above the high of today's candle and below the low, would go your stop. I don't think this one has good options for weekly options newsletter. Let me look for regular September. 172.50. Nope, not really. Pretty expensive for $172 stock. They're like more than Apple. It'd probably be around the $1.50 of a stop anyway. Yeah, 50-cent spread on the bid and the ask. Nope. But if you do want to play the shares are always a possibility. And if you would prefer a non-directional trade, there is probably some premium on Lam Research as well. Okay, so again, tons to look at today. I'm going to throw AMAT on the list, make sure we get all of our swing trades covered as well. So we're going to throw Alaska Airlines on there, APPN, PZZA, tons of things to look at. So we're going to keep on rolling. If you got questions, throw them in the chat pane, but I am on fire today. Billy on the daily charts, earnings gap, I do believe. So you got a really interesting double bottom. Baby 100 was just formed on Billy, and you probably would want a close above this high. So end of day bullish. What's likely going to happen though is you're going to get some type of double bottom playing out. So if you're looking at buying it, I think that would probably be more of an apropos place to buy. I do like this weekly chart. In fact, I love this weekly chart. I love the gap. I love the fact that this wick made a new low just to make sure people got stopped out. So there's your lower shadow, trapping everybody. You got a bullish gap and go on a weekly. Now, granted, today is only Tuesday, but it is a bullish gap and go on a weekly. I like this move. So we made some good money on Billy in June. We're back down to the support level again. If we get a little bit of a retest and then a bounce, booyakasha. I kind of dig that. So let's continue to keep this one pretty close on our watch list. I'll throw on the list for tomorrow, and we'll see what we can do on Billy. Beautiful. All right, so here's AMAT. And AMAT today did gap down a little bit. So this is our bearish swing trade. Robert Falco said he exited today and took his quarter of an R of loss. So good job, Falks, losing small. I'm going to figure out if I'm right or wrong on this one, I think tomorrow. The 10 EMA is below our stop a little bit more today. So I'm just going to hold for now. I'll re-evaluate on Friday. So what's today's candle? Just as a reminder, since we're here, Monday, the U.S. stock market is closed. Here's the, cannot believe, can you guys, is it seriously September? Sharon, if you're playing a joke on me, this is not the time. Not the time. So we got the Nashville retreat coming up next weekend, or next week, starting this weekend. But markets are closed on Monday. No one's going to be here. Don't be here. Even though for those of you, who are doing the Nashville retreat, we're all going to be hanging out and just having an absolute party. But for those in the room, no trading room on Monday, but we will be having trading rooms the rest of the week as normal. So just kind of know that. Sharon says, I can play a lot of tricks, but changing dates is not one of them. Okay. So no, she's not joking. All right. Well, that's bottom line is, no markets on Monday. So we're going to get a free day of theta on Monday for my option sellers. And just another day to be patient. Frank's sad about the day of market being closed. I know, it's brutal, but we'll see what we get, and we'll get back on it on Tuesday. I'll probably end up lowering the stop a penny or two on Friday, but I do like this AMAT trade. And so far, I got like an inside week, so I'm just going to be a little bit patient. If I lose, that's fine. No big deal. Now, Alaska Airlines, round of applause on ALK. Very nice S-curve, nice hammer off support off the 200. I did mention this one in Slack. Did exit a quarter of the position on Alaska, ALK. So ALK took a quarter off, and that was because it did trade to this resistance, right, this previous resistance, and you're hitting the 50 EMA on a weekly chart, which is about 67 and some change. Now, unfortunately, this particular move, the high of today, so 67.49 is 2 R's numerically. So I'm hoping for a little bit more. I did not set my 2R target on Alaska Airlines. So I'm going to see if maybe she breaks this high. If she breaks this high, we can go to 69. So I'm going to say if AOK makes a new high by end of day Thursday, I'll hold for more. Otherwise, I'll look to take the rest at 2R. So that could be a fun little winner. Hopefully I'm not bamboozling it or jinxing it. But I did like the candle, like the move, that's why we're in the trade. So we'll come back and look at it Thursday. So no, I don't have any targets on Thursday, as of today. But again, we were at 2Rs. We just got triggered in yesterday, so I didn't really have a target because sometimes they can just fly to the moon. 3Rs, 4Rs, 5Rs, you never know. Yeah, had a good trade. It did trade up to that 2R price. I would really like it to break through the 50. If it gaps, this is a pipe dream, but if it gapped above 67.82, it could trade up to 70. That'd be a really good trade. So Alaska Airlines, that's what we got. APPN, as it should be typed in my marker, did not trigger, and I like it even more. I like it even more. So there's APPN. Okay, here's pizza. PZZA, Papa John's. Papa John's, we're in. I think I got that updated, right? No, I did not. Okay, shoot. So Papa John's, 45.55. This one's going to be interesting. I did talk about that target yesterday, and this target was just really based on how strong these moving average is going to be. You got the 50. I know you got some rationales and some reasons they could slow down, right? You got the 50 right in front of you on the daily. All right, so there's the 50. So you got the 50 right in front of your face. The reason I said that maybe we kind of flash up a little bit is because of this and this. So I do have the target a little bit lower than 2R. I did set the target on this one because the last two times we popped really quick above the 50. I'm hoping to catch that pop just enough so that we'll get in and get out. So yeah, that hopefully that answers your question, Stephen. I am a little concerned by it, but the last 2-3 times we at least flashed above it for a day. So hoping that happens soon. But I also like Papa John's on this long-term time frame. Yeah. This is the monthly. 100 on a monthly. And these monthly candles are going to close this Friday. So just keep that in mind. Red Hat, RHT. So Red Hat was kind of ironic because we were looking at going bearish on Red Hat. And that just did not happen, which is fine. Hey, set up the trade. Don't get triggered in. That's great. Just keep in mind this 200. I do think this gap fills almost unquestionably. This gap will fill. So if you play Red Hat, just do it on the longer term scale. I would expect it to get a close above this area right here, which is what price is that? 146.05. Get a close above there, and then buy that dip, and just try to be in that one for a while. So if you're playing Red Hat, it's going to be a longer term play. You could obviously make money with a bill paying trade, but I don't think you're going to be able to get in and get out super amazing before earnings in October. So I would either kind of play it as long term, and my long term would most likely consist of some option trades to protect something like this. Just a nice little trapping wick and then something like that. Ben says, I got a jet. I catch the rest of the recording. Have a great rest of your day. You too, buddy. So that's what I'm thinking on Red Hats. We will see, obviously, earnings in October. Next on the list is the Dropbox. DBX. And what is super interesting on the Dropbox is we set this trade up for a bracket trade, which could go either direction. Yeah, and it still could. Still could go either way. Dropbox to go bullish, Dropbox to go bearish. A potential weekly options newsletter trade, actually. Potential. And the reason I say that is because, if it takes out that support and really starts moving strong, Who knows? So DBX, a little bit of a bracket, doesn't look bad. Could go bullish, could go bearish. Next on the list, good old PayPal. PYPL at 90. So me personally, I was waiting on PayPal to trade back to this neckline, but today's candle is almost an inside candle, not quite. Super close, but I do like PayPal. I like the trends. I like this little wick. This is actually a nice wick. Everyone had their stop right below that support. Everyone had their stop right there. Super obvious support. They got wicked out, which tells me this is probably going to continue higher. I got a good buddy, Richard Schlonsky, who has some shares of PayPal. Just one of my friends that texts me every now and then for stock picks, but he actually is one of the ones that listens. PayPal, good trends, nice looking move, nice doji. And my end of year target, 111.12. We'll see if it gets there. It's going to be a little bit of a stretch for sure. Might not quite happen by the end of the year, but could happen by the end of 2000. I mean, most likely will happen in 2019. So we're just going to have to find out, determine that, and figure it out. But PayPal, I mean, I do like the trend, and I would watch it continue higher. Celgene, C-E-L-G. Celgene has done it. You got that close above the 200 once again. So I'm looking at Celgene to try to figure out if it's going to retest this area and bounce. I recall looking at some option trades. I wasn't blown away. 90, I'd go with a 91. Yeah, I could dig that. Possible option trade on Celgene. $1.56. Okay. Strongest candidate for a weekly options newsletter. Realistically, just buying this pullback into this double bottom, try to catch off the 200, and we'll find out if it works by the end of the week. Remember, this was a beautiful breakout of a Bollinger Band squeeze off the 100 on the off the 100. You got like a rest after battle on a weekly. Moving averages, no 50, no 50. All right, 50's not massively far away. 95, which would probably eventually be our target. Template, target. Okay, that's Celgene. I'll come back to that one a little bit later as a potential weekly options newsletter trade. But for those who are watching it, or you're in bullish, do stay in both. So SeaWorld, I talked about it yesterday. I asked for an inside candle again today without triggering before it trades higher. There is a trader in on this trade. So if that is you, awesome. It's a good trend on an hourly, good trend on the daily. The weekly chart over here, you got a great gap on the weekly. This still has room to run. It's getting close. I mean, I would say 28.64, which maybe like another 50 cents. So I think that's the main reason I didn't take it bullish personally, is just the risk reward's not outrageously wonderful. So let me just keep an eye out for and watch this one just a little bit. All right, that's SeaWorld. What's next? ICHR. ICHR, it did get that close above there today. I'm not going to take this trade mostly because I can't be in everything, but I do love it. Now, the good news is Justin Jay is in it, so it makes me feel good. At least he's in. And if you've been tracking that one with him, or you've been looking at it, or you requested this one, I do like it tons. Love the inside candle. I would have to cancel something or get out of something to take it, lock in some more gains. We did lock in a gain on Alaskan Airlines, but again, the weekly options news is coming out today, so it's going to be another R on the table of risk. That's going to be my biggest challenge for right now. But yeah, bottom line, it did close above there. So if one were looking at getting in, you would do a stop at 20, entry on a pullback at 24.8 would just stop right there. Looks good. So Jay, go get it, my man. Next on the list, Yelp. Now Yelp, YELP, was down a little bit today, and it did have a pretty decent lower shadow. Pretty decent. So my question is, if it takes out the low of that shadow, is it too far to ask it to come back down here? I don't think so. So I'm going to come in because really all we're trying to do now is we already have this trade open. We're just trying to get a limit buy at 45.33. That's all that's trying to occur. I'm going to leave that open for a little bit longer. I mentioned if it doesn't play it twice, so I'm going to write a note. If it doesn't trigger by Friday, I'll cancel. Friday. Okay. And again, longer term, I mean, I like this like little red Mr. Squiggles that he did, kind of expecting us to chop around. This could be a trade that I'm just playing a little too aggressive, but with swing trades, if you're playing something on the hourly, you're going to be pretty quick unless it's an investment, because investments are easy. You get into a trade long term, something you really like, and just hold it until you get sick. But right now, it's all right. It's all right. All right, next on the list, we have what? Microsoft. So 110. This is the daily chart we're looking at right here. I mean, it looks good. It didn't hit the 50. That's where a lot of you were looking at getting in bullish. I don't think you did. Yeah, I mean, you have 5 white candles in a row. You're not buying today, I don't think. If you're coming here to the hourly chart, you can see you got a great break with moving averages. Phenomenal retest right here. Trade higher, good gap, retest gap, bounce. So the trend looks good. So I mean, hopefully you're already in. I wouldn't necessarily call it a double bottom. I'm probably going to go with some type of triangle pattern on this one. Double bottom, I would have just liked to see a little bit more selling to call it a real double bottom. So I personally would just love Microsoft to do this again and then go higher. I do think it goes higher. I think the trend goes higher. Ash says she was waiting to add it to 50 moving average. Yep, there's a lot of people that were planning on doing that. At least you got dividends a few weeks ago. And yeah, trend looks good. So keep hanging in. Give that one time to keep working out. So Shopify, SHOP, I don't know. I like it. I like the little move. I know the 100's kind of getting close to where we're going. 146.81. I'd love it to trade back up to here. 2 R's on Shopify is 151.83, which is just right above that new pivot. Because if we really double bottom off of this price, I'm going to try to hold this one for a bit, guys. Because if Shopify breaks that resistance, it looks good to me. I'm going to try to hold it just a little longer. Dean's got a put sale for October. Is anyone else having option trades on Shopify? I know this is a pretty popular one for traders to sell options on and whatnot. Ash says, I have a January 115 and September 135 naked put. September 135. Okay, got it. So come in here. Ash has 115 September and 115 January and 135 September. Cool deal. You'll probably be able to buy back that 135 pretty soon, hopefully. And that 115 looks toasty. Gorgeous. Okay, that's Shopify. Here's MasterCard, M-A. MasterCard just storming the castle of profits. Man, oh man, look at this chart. I'm missing all of it too, every bit. Why is that? I just can't be in everything. No need to diversify that heavily. You know? I mean, I like the trend. I like the movement. It's stuff is getting comical, but let's let it keep being comical for a while. You start getting those phone calls from your high school buddies. You guys remember Bitcoin, right? Remember how you start getting calls about Bitcoin and saying, hey, you know how to trade. You know how to trade Bitcoin, right? When that starts happening with stock market, that's when you'll know. Hasn't happened to me yet. Doggo says, no one has ever called or asked me about MasterCard ever. Nope. No, they will not. So if it ever does happen, let me know. But just the stock market in general, if you start getting a bunch of phone calls and people asking and all that good stuff. That's all I got on this one. Okay, next on the list, we got Qualcomm. Qualcomm also going bananas. So this one was a real travesty because Qualcomm had this one set up to get in on this pullback after this retest gap at 61.88. Now, it's not like it went down to 61.93 and I missed it by a nickel or anything. That definitely didn't happen. It actually did. It totally happened. And then you got a bullish gap and go on the 31st. Like, shoot, I missed it. I just really forgot to set up an entry here with a stop there. There's the move, S-curve, new white soldier, wicked pair candle pattern, Qualcomm going bananas. Good for you, Qualcomm. This is probably about the spot that you are locking in some type of profit, maybe doing a covered call. I don't have any positions in Qualcomm, but if I did, I would hedge them at this point in time. Next on the list, we got Cisco, CSCO. Cisco, oh yeah, she's about to storm. Look at that monthly flag. So pretty, weekly, beautiful, daily. What a bounce off the 200. Wow, Cisco. Let me see that chart. Trade right down to the 100. You got a bullish engulfing pattern. Trades up, retest, high wave candle, nice little gap. I mean, Cisco is just ready to go. This is one of the stocks that I did mention back in 2000, right at the early onset of the year. I was most bullish on for the year. So far, looking good. So Cisco Systems broke out of a massive distribution phase, 46.99, no questions, the next target. And it'll just be a matter of time before we get up there. Next on the list, we got the good old flicks of net. The good old Netflix. Retested today with a retest gap. Super weird. So you got that white candle on the hourly, pulled right into the 10. Very nice bounce. Again, this was a retest gap yesterday. Nice little lower shadow. And if anyone's looking at playing Netflix, again, I know I have a wager for it to go to 300. I still think it's going to get there at some point in time, but I don't have to have any pride when it comes to stock market because the stock market doesn't care about me. So if you played bullish on this one today, awesome sauce. Great job getting in. If you did not, I mean, it made a move. It had a rest today. I'd probably go with this move right here. That would be my stop. That would be my limit. And that's when I'll let it go a little bit higher. Something like that. So let it trigger the stop, 371.34, and then look to get in on a little bit of a pullback into that like 367 area. But I actually do anticipate at this point, ever since this candle came in, and most importantly, ever since Friday's candle came in, I think it's going to trade back up almost, might even make a new all-time high. Just enough for people to get really hosed on it before it goes lower. So I'm almost 100% positive Netflix will have another low at some point. But that's okay. I'll let everyone know. Anyone has Netflix, they'll sell it up here, lock in the gain, and then it's going to be it will get into a distribution phase at some point. Because no stocks just don't go from 90 to 400 and then recover that quickly to make a new high to just keep going. That would be a massive issue. That would be a straight up just, oh man, big bubble. Ash says, so wait until 400 to get rid of the naked puts. Yep, wait for it to get a little bit higher. You should be close to break even on them or making some gains. But yeah, if it continues higher, wait for it to get up into the 400 area and then buy those back. Okay, Apple. Not much to see here. Someone once told me that Apple was going to get into the 220s before the end of the month. Don't know who that person could have been. But you got to love that inside candle on Friday. It broke out yesterday, made a new all-time high today. Apple is a powerhouse. Ash says, you told me that, Jeremy. I did indeed. So awesome job on buying back that covered call. I know it didn't feel good at the time, but I'm going to keep waiting on Apple a little bit more to get it to covered call just because I'm going to have a hard time picking the top on this one. I mean, I would be almost flabbergasted if Apple gets up to 227.50 by the end of September, because that covered call is paying $1.22. But man, I'm just gonna let Apple keep doing its thing for a little bit longer. Let her keep riding, I guess. It's not gonna worry about picking the top. Let her just keep on churning and burning. OKTA. This is one I played before and lost on. And yeah, she's bouncing. Nice. OKTA, wonderful trend. I love the close and the break above this resistance. I like this pennant pattern. This is the highest close today that OKTA ever has. It's good. Hourly. What's the hourly doing? Yeah, I got an interesting high wave candle here. So I think it's a what, 62105. That's a previous upper shadow at some point. Yep. That'll be a big close for OKTA to get above 6105. Massive. If you have shares and it closes above there, just let her ride at that point. I think we can put that on the list for Friday just in case we need a trade. Maybe we can buy on a pullback and rock it out from there. Okay, OKTA done. Next on the list, GameStop. GME. A lot of people asking, what's your thoughts on GameStop? Someone asked me, I think I'm a long-term bear on it. That is correct. Be a long-term bear on GameStop. It's like Dish Network. It will be at zero within 2 or 3 years. That's all I have to say on GameStop. It's slowly evaporating. No one goes there. No one shops there. Short the rips. So you have this really good breakout right here. People definitely taking that breakout. I even thought about going bullish for about a day on GameStop, and I went, nah. And this is pretty much why. In fact, I know you have 4 bearish candles in a row. I'm going to watch this tomorrow to continue lower. Look at all that support right here. Tons of support. So if you get the break of that candle, especially like a high wave candle or something, we'll watch that tomorrow morning. Tomorrow's Wednesday, right? Wednesday morning, GameStop. Just in case, maybe get a high wave candle tomorrow, and then I watch it again on Thursday. I don't know. Okay, GameStop, rock and rolling. Next on the list, BIIB. Making good time today. BIIB, Biogen. I got out of it. Am I about to get back in bullish? Am I about to get back in bullish? Kind of want to. It got me on a bear trade. Lost small, though. I did lose small. Biogen. Right above that high. Stop below here. Nice new white soldier. Good volume. I might send that one to my Biogen buddy. Because I owe him half an hour. I don't think I'm going to play that one personally. Okay, I'm just going to watch it. I like the trades that we're in right now. Not saying they'll work, but this would be a blip on the script because we were just in bearish not too long ago. Got out. It is trading a little sideways, but that 50's coming in. I kind of like the volume. Yeah, it looks okay. All right, Facebook, ticker symbol FB, down a little bit today. Mostly because it had a retest gap, white candle gapping up, so you know it's likely going to retest. We haven't interacted with the 20. So that's this next hurdle to go and really battle. And the weekly, here's the weekly 50 also is going to battle. So Facebook's going to be really choppy for a bit. It's going to be a pretty difficult one to go short-term directional on unless it's a day trade. I mean short-term directional, I mean like a swing trade, 2-3 day, 2 week kind of thing. The hourly chart on Facebook to me looks like it's begging to come down to about 174. Falco says Zuckerberg has slowed his selling to 125,000 shares every other day. Right on. He's locking in those gains. 125,000 shares every other day. Wow. Low of this candle, 175.83, 175.79. Yeah, if it takes out the low of today, especially if it closes below there on the hourly, I think it unquestionably comes down to 174.65 and probably even a little bit lower. I think Facebook is probably better with longer term calls or some shares. Put sales right now, there's no premium, not really. And I would just probably keep waiting on it. So yeah, look for a little bit of a wick to fill that gap and then see if she can bounce. Okay, Activision, ATVI, Activision, inside day candle. Tons of people want this one to retest today, and today is a retest. So you'll have your inside day. If it breaks out and makes a new higher high tomorrow, that is the retest. And if it breaks down and takes out the low of both today and yesterday, it most likely will come down around the 100 simple. That's about it. Other than that, Activision, beautiful bounce off the 50 on a weekly and pretty decent bounce around that 200. I know my buddy JL Derulo made some gains on that one. JL Derulo. Good job, Jay. And that's Activision. Okay, next on the list, I had 1 or 2 people ask me about IQ today. And the question was, is this a dip buying opportunity? I think so. It traded down pretty fiercely. And so realistically, we could be able to do something like this. Bam, bam, bam. That's 30.71. 71 could go right here. There's 71. And yeah, I think this is a nice lower shadow on IQ. So the question is, would that just be a regular old stop limit, or would I do something fancy? Like a stop, I think it'd be a regular old stop limit. Okay. That is the one I wanted to make official today. So 30.71 by 28.71. Shares or options, really up to you. If you're going with options, you're probably doing October. And we will be selling before lockup expires, even though I don't necessarily imagine it getting kind of crazy. Certainly could. I think it's kind of I think it's a good trade based on obviously perfect gap and go. Open because it hasn't triggered yet. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hourly chart's got a big bearish candle, trade down to support. I like the daily chart. Nice little lower shadow, probably trap some folks. I like the 100 where it's at. And again, I just love that gap. That's exactly what I planned, so I almost have to take this trade. So that's IQ. New official swing trod. Swing trod. And then we have EA Sports. It's in the game. EA Sports down a little bit, super sideways. Wow, right in the middle of the 100, 200. I don't see anything in Electronic Arts yet. If you're buying it, buy as low as you can. 124, something like that, looks good. So 124 would be, just right below that 200. Let it trade down into that zone. Buy low, sell high. I dig it. Looks decent. That's what's up on EA. 4 left. McDonald's. My boy Tim Thurman has a put sale. I think my buddy Danny has a put sale. I think Sharon Baldwin's might be either in shares or calls. This is a weekly chart. So far, you have an inside week. You got an inside week last week, and you have an inside week so far this week. Don't know if it's going to continue to be like that, but there is more bullish to neutral sentiment. Again, you still got the long terms there. It looks remotely bullish. It's in a little bit of a channel of some kind. And yeah, it's okay. It's all right. I like Tim's put sale. So Tim, hope that one continues to work for you, my man. It expires worthless. Here's Walmart, though, WMT, and Walmart. Nice one white soldier candle off of the 10. So if you're playing Walmart, you would look for an entry above the high of this candle. I do not think Walmart's going to make it perfectly easy. So here's what I will draw on Walmart, because I think this is what it will likely do. Bounce above, this is where everyone gets in bullish, and then it pulls back down to here, and then bounce. Nothing that will occur, but I mean, this gap fill, obviously, you're probably watching for a day trade. I like the one white soldier. I like the close. I like the volume. I like the bounce off the 10. All looks legit. Mike says, I like Jan much better than Walmart. Just spreading the love. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Walmart always has great deals on muscle milk, which is a good kind of like protein shake kind of thing to drink. Walmart's done. So I've already looked at, I think I looked at Billy Billy. I feel like I did. Lisa, sell a bull put spread on Walmart? Yes. I like that plan, Lee. But really you'd want it, you would have preferred to have done it yesterday, right? Because you want to sell when it's down, you get more premium that way as it pulled into the 10. But if you get a little bit of a pullback or a rest tomorrow, the bull put spread probably going $90 or lower. 90 or lower looks good on Walmart. And last but not least, ton of you talking about this one today. Car Gurus, C-A-R-G. Car Gurus, I can see why. Strong move, obviously. Massive move. 31 to 50, no big deal. I don't think it triggers. If you're wanting to get in bullish, it would be above the high of these candles. But I would look for a close above that. You do have some really interesting wicks, support resistance. Again, you've moved super far. So I'd look for a close above that price. And again, a pullback. Otherwise, I think we're going to chop around for a bit longer, throw in some lower wicks, that kind of thing. Bounce and bounce and bounce and bounce, and then go higher. If you got put sales or you got shares doing cover calls, that kind of thing, I think you can continue. But overall, trend looks pretty toasty. But again, it's moved super strong. So just kind of wait and see how it plays out. Ben says I got some absolute zero calls, $50 for September. All right. Awesome news. You can't lose less than 1 R on that one, or can't lose more than 1 R on that one. I did have, so again, I exited a little bit of Alaska Airlines today. I thought I was going to get stopped out on AMAT, but I have not. Didn't get stopped out of AMAT. Did not do any day trades today. Well, let me rephrase. Did not do any live day trades today. So I was helping Craig with his day trading, and we played Canopy Growth like an absolute boss. Here's how we played it this morning. I'm walking him through some 3-minute strategies. It's brand new, guys. Brand new to day trading. Entry was there. Stop was there. I was kind of walking him through all of it. We moved the stop down to here, exited a quarter there, trailed the stop down there, made an R on it. But again, all virtual. I don't know. I didn't try to short any shares. I have no idea if it was even shortable or not. Probably not, which would have made it pretty stupid, but yeah. So it's just me and Greg. Like, he's brand new, so I just kind of showing him the charts, get everything. But I know Thinkorswim doesn't have any shares to borrow on this one, but it's super frustrating because it's so flipping high. It's like, how can you not short it? Obviously, it has puts, but still, kind of dumb that you can't short that thing. Anyway. So again, no day trades for me, but I did have some option premiums come off the table yesterday for a pretty penny. Did not get stopped out on AMAT today. Thought I was going to, so that R is still there. And then here's HMI. HMI is a swing trade that we have open still. Might be canceling that one very soon. And then Domo or Arigato did have a little bit of an inside day count today, so that's kind of nice. So we still have APPN open, HMI open, Yell open, IQ is brand new, and we'll see what we do. But again, closing a little bit of a realized gain on Alaska Airlines, but that doesn't really factor in until the whole trade is going to close out because I don't know how it's going to happen yet. So yeah, a little bit above 11 hours for the month. We'll see what happens on AMAT, and I don't know, we'll take it from there. But that is your Tech Giant Tuesday. Awesome sauce. Well done being here, team. Always love having you a part of the afternoon room. Tomorrow is what a lot of people refer to as Energy Wednesday. And here's what we're looking at. ICHR, Overstock, CRM, Billy, LNG, First Solar, OLED, Roku, MJ, DAN, ETP. I'll pack the put sales on BP, AVYA, MYL, Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, bought back the spread on Baidu, RIG. Cool. All right, team. I'll see you tomorrow then. Same time, same place. And until then, remember, love life, and trade it. You guys rock. Bye.